The reigning champs, UNC, in their Tar Heel blue. Northwestern fittingly in the home white. Charlotte Raffjen, the draw taker for the Tar Heels. For the Wildcats, Madison Smith. And we are underway. The two best teams going at it to decide a national championship in the sport of women's lacrosse. And it's #1 Northwestern that starts with possession. What an incredible journey for this Wildcats team. 8 games into the season, 5 wins, 3 losses. They have been undefeated since. What will it take offensively going against this Tar Heels defense?
You know, for Northwestern, it's going to be about a lot about possession. It's going to start at that draw circle, which is going to be a big storyline. Northwestern, they need to move the ball really well. They're going to go against this man defense of UNC. So work the dodges. They've got threats all over the field.
In the regular season matchup between these two, North Carolina's defenders were pressing out like you're seeing here. They were leaving a lot of room for these Northwestern players to operate in the one-on-one. This is a heavyweight battle right here between Madison Taylor and Sam Forrest.
Taylor LaPointe opens the scoring. A career-high 7 points in the semifinal for LaPointe, and she picks up where she left off.
Northwestern, they are just dominating at the draw this season. We'll see if they can maintain this in this game. You see the pressure that Madison Taylor creates. The double team comes early. She gets it over to LaPointe. LaPointe had 5 assists, but she's a threat to score as well. And this is just great going through the defense, getting that shot off, not being afraid at all.
Taylor LaPointe is the glue to this offense. They have such strong lefties like Madison Taylor and Aditi Foster. Taylor LaPointe balances them out on the right side of the field.
So we're back at the draw circle. So both these teams have been great at the draw all season long. However, for UNC, they've been battling an injury. And Sarah Gresham has been their primary draw taker. She's been dominant. She went down with a leg injury in the NCAA tournament against Stanford. She did come into play for just a little bit when the game was already well underhand against Maryland, but look for Charlotte Raffjen to take the bulk of these draws.
And Raffjen at 6 foot has the height advantage in this matchup. It helps on jump balls like that. And the circle players so integral. Madison Taylor, not only is she one of the best, most prolific goal scorers, she is so good at getting the draw control off the circle.
She has so much chemistry with that unit. It's a draw unit that graduated 74% of their production from a year ago with Sam Smith, the older sister of Madison Smith, taking the majority of them. But Madison Taylor is so effective off of the carpet.
Tar Heels sending a double team again. Somebody's open.
UNC likes to pressure out. They're a high-pressure defense, and they do an excellent job of just making you feel like you don't have anywhere to go.
LaPointe again! Shot out of a cannon! 2 goals for Taylor LaPointe in the opening 2 minutes.
You said the early slide to Aditi Foster and Madison Taylor. Taylor LaPointe will feast on the backside. A nice pick by Maddie Epke right on the elbow. Gets the North Carolina defenders hung up. And Taylor LaPointe hits the gas pedal right down the center straight. You give her this much time and this much space to have her hands free, LaPointe will go off.
There's the Hall of Fame head coach, Kelly Amonte Hiller. 8 national championships, the most unlikely dynasty built here in Evanston, Illinois. Her husband and assistant coach Scott said it's like building a champion ski team in Florida. And this is what they do. The hallmark of those 8 national championships, they start fast.
And that favored them in the regular season meeting between these two teams, playing fast off of the draw, not allowing North Carolina's defenders to get into their spots and get into rhythm. Attacking in the early offense favors Northwestern.
Well, North Carolina, they're the #1 scoring offense in the country, just under 18 goals per game. What's the best defense? Don't let them touch it, and they have not.
We'll see how UNC adjusts defensively right now. They've been sending that slide early, and they've been able to get beat on that. So will they just stay on their matchups and try to hold on the slides?
Ratana Pruska goes to goal. Comfortable stop for Betty Nelson. And now the Tar Heels could start the clear and try and get it to their offense for the first time today. Errant pass. Eliza Osborne can't control the ground ball. These ground balls are so critical in a national championship game, and it's Northwestern who wins it back.
And it did rain a lot this morning, so you think it's affecting how the ball is rolling when it is on the ground. It is a slick turf.
A whistle has blown play dead here.
It looks like is North Carolina offsides.
They are. There are 8 players over the line.
So that's going to be a green card. That is a penalty of 1 minute. It is releasable on a score of Northwestern. New rule this year, when either team is offsides, it is a green card.
There's the legendary head coach, Jenny Levy.
A green card has been issued in North Carolina's number 15, Eliza Osborne.
Northwestern team. And what makes Carolina so good is they rarely beat themselves. That is only their 11th failed clear all season, and it shows up in their first clearing attempt of this national championship game and sends Northwestern on the power play.
This is a North Carolina team that also rarely fouls. Their semifinal matchup with Maryland, they only committed 2 fouls the entire game, so they are disciplined, but some adversity early here.
Here's Madison Taylor. Finds Aditi Foster. Those two lefties have combined all season long. Taylor darts inside. Misfires. Midway through this power play. What a start for the Wildcats. It's been one-way traffic in the opening minutes. Foster stings the corner. Throws it right by Nelson. And it's 3-0 Northwestern.
A Wildcat goal scored by number 3, Aditi Foster.
One of the things that has served this Northwestern team so well this season is that they had no fear. When they went down to Carolina, they took down North Carolina, who's the #1 team in the nation. They went out there fearless, and you see Aditi Foster. She's a sophomore. She's got such energy out there. She's a huge spark and come up with some big-time goals.
An early timeout taken by head coach Jenny Levy for North Carolina. Northwestern has thrown the first punch in this championship game. A year ago, North Carolina beat Northwestern 12-8 to win it all. It is very rare in the sport of women's lacrosse you get a national championship rematch. In fact, it's only happened 7 times before, and the reigning champs are just 1-6 defending their title. It's hard enough to get back, let alone win it, and it's Northwestern that has started with a 3-0 lead. The Wildcats on the front foot. North Carolina going to Sarah Gresham on the draw, and she wins it to Kaylee Harden. Now Gresham, we told you, was banged up earlier in the NCAA tournament. She's been the lead draw taker all season. Did not draw in the first 3. Northwestern won all of them and cashed in for goals. How about the Wildcats battling and winning the ball back? So even though you win the draw, you still can't get into your offensive set.
Both these teams are so good at going into that attack mode on the draw when they lose it, and Mary Carroll comes up with an excellent takeaway.
Both teams like to press out and trap you instantly over the restraining line, create early chaos. They match each other similarly in terms of scheme in that regard.
A little slippage behind the cage. That's a big-time pickup. Grace Ann Leonard.
LaPointe lost her footing. She's got 2 goals for Northwestern early. Here's Nelson under pressure.
North Carolina without a shot in this game. We've seen them start slower throughout this season, but they've had a lot of opportunities and just have not been able to connect. This is very unusual that we've not seen them actually have a real offensive possession almost 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, this is uncharted territory for a Tar Heels team that usually gets an early lead and pours it on, including in that semifinal against Maryland. They won by 10 against the talented Terps team, but they are on the back foot in the first 5 minutes.
And there's a lot of purple in the stands. I mean, this is the home field of Northwestern, and it feels like they've got a ton of support. So a bit unusual environment than the Tar Heels have been playing with in the past.
Chloe Humphrey yet to touch the ball in this championship game.
Northwestern has elected to come out in their man-to-man defense. They run a little bit of everything, and they've shown it all throughout the NCAA tournament. But when these two teams met in March, they played in their zone defense the entire game. So an interesting choice for them to come out in their man-to-man.
Here's Humphrey, 2 in Tar Heel blue. Always in attack mode, goes to goal, misfires. Darcy Felter trying to keep the possession alive, but it's scooped up. Jalen Rosga
Jalen Roscoe has been excellent for Northwestern this season. Plays as a rover when they're in that zone defense, but just an excellent job getting the ball off the turf.
Mary Carroll clears it for the Wildcats. This has been a perfect start for the home team, #1 Northwestern. They have been favoring this near side of the field with their lefties. Taylor picks out another perfect pass. Monroe. That shot was deflected on its way to the cage, and if it hits a North Carolina player, that is an immediate yellow card, whether it was intentional or not. And so the officials have stopped play. This will likely be a video review. North Carolina head coach Jenny Levy wasted no time asking for the video review here.
That slashing check could easily have been a cardable foul, but they're looking for the play on Northwestern in the shot.
Request by North Carolina to identify a cardable foul during the last shot.
So you have two coaches challenge that you're able to have. The officials also have the ability to have their own video reviews. There was no call on the field, so they are looking to see if there's evidence. Let's take a look at the release. It looks like it goes off the body.
It looks like that shot did make contact with Grace Ann Leonard.
The goalkeeper, Betty Nelson, spotted immediately.
Now what they're looking for, does the defender go into the path of this shot? And in that angle, it looks like she may have run into it. So then at that point, you do need to stay outside of the shot. It is on the shooter. It's their responsibility to be in control of their release point, of their stick. Now that easily, we just saw that the check there that easily could have been a cardable foul as well.
I think this next angle may be our best way to determine if she stepped into it. It looks like she was already in the middle before Monroe released it.
This will be nice slow down. So see when she starts her shot motion right there. In that angle, I think that's a card.
I agree.
The other one, I think maybe it looks like the defender goes in. It's very hard. Let's see the officials.
After review, we have a dangerous propelling on Northwestern. Releasable. North Carolina will retain their video review and timeout. 33 white.
So 33 white, that's Lucy Monroe, will be sidelined for up to 2 minutes. It is a releasable penalty on a dangerous propel. So that's when you shoot and the ball hits a player. So when North Carolina scores, they will go back to even strength.
And Charlotte, sometimes when you get on the power play, it can jumpstart your offense, particularly for North Carolina, who has barely touched the ball in this opening quarter.
And with Northwestern's relentless ride in the even set, this allows for North Carolina to get touches. Everybody will get a touch on the ball. That'll settle you in. They'll move the ball around. This is where North Carolina really thrives as an offensive unit because they like to play connected. They like the assisted opportunities, and they're so incredibly balanced with their stick work that they create a ton of layers, a ton of options, particularly when they are man up.
Chloe surveys, picks out Darcy Felter, give and go. Humphrey charges in and scores! Chloe Humphrey cashes in on the power play, and North Carolina's on the board.
The nation's leading goal scorer is 1 away from tying the single season goals record. Right here, she shows off her two-handedness. This ability to dissect a defense on the left side of the field as a dominant right-handed attacker is what opens up her game and makes her better than anybody else at this skill. Evades pressure, understands using subtle deception on the perimeter, wins her that angle, and just attacks fearlessly. But her range with both hands makes her impossible to guard.
Chloe Humphrey has never had a game in her career where she has scored less than 2 goals. She averages 5 It's not about stopping Chloe Humphrey, it's about limiting.
Totally. I mean, it's unbelievable the production she has when the focus has always been on her. North Carolina able to get a draw control win. That's a huge pickup by Kaylee Harden.
Osborne, another one of these talented sophomores that won the national championship as freshmen.
And you can see Sarah Gresham coming in to the draw control for North Carolina has given them some juice. She has chemistry with Kaylee Harden on the circle. Both have gone to number 17 in blue.
Kate Levy trying to shake free. Well defended by Cumberland. Spins again. Off the mark. Closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds. That's the rule in lacrosse. And the officials deemed it was North Carolina. Here's Humphrey. Curls around the cage, goes to goal, off the mark.
Carolina will back up again.
Has the backup.
I've liked that in the last two setups when they're coming in from out of bounds, they've given the ball to Chloe Humphrey. You want her to have a lot of touches.
And when they're in their man-to-man defense for Northwestern, when Chloe Humphrey touches the ball, everybody's on high alert, so slides will go.
Here's Addison Patillo showing the speed, couldn't find the finishing touch.
Excellent job defensively of forcing North Carolina out to the sides, forcing some lower angle shots. When you've got a goalie like Jenica Cuoco, those are the shots she wants to see. That's an easy save for her.
Cumberland weaving through traffic. She's beaten 4 Tar Heels on this clear. Northwestern been very effective against this Tar Heels man-to-man early. Here's Aditi Foster.
We saw a lot of this duo right here on the left side in the regular season meeting.
Foster right to the doorstep.
Northwestern,
Abby Lacasio. Too easy. And Northwestern back up by 3.
Lacasio, just her 8th goal this season. We've seen a lot of open cutters in the middle of that 8-meter. Foster, she's been dangerous throughout this season, but Lacasio is wide open inside, so sometimes you can get caught ball watching. UNC sending those early slides. I think there's been some communication breakdowns early, but Northwestern is doing an excellent job getting into space and getting into a spot where you can receive the pass and then have the finish.
And this is textbook triangle offense, similar to basketball. 3 players working together on the elbow, and they're all natural lefties. Lacasio, Madison Taylor, and Aditi Foster. They like to operate in space together. When the double team goes to one of them will slip to the right space. They play on a string together.
So we've been monitoring Gresham the last few days at practice. She's been braced up, heavily taped, but continuing to take reps at the draw control, mentoring Charlotte Rastian. But I like this switch to her, even though Madison Taylor's able to come up with possession. She's one of the best in the game at it.
And Northwestern made a switch too. Maddie Epke coming in to take the draw, the transfer from James Madison. Her and Madison Smith share a lot of that responsibility and create a lot of depth for Northwestern at the draw.
Epke dominated at the draw in the regular season win against North Carolina, the Tar Heels' lone loss. Epke had 15 draw controls in that game. It was the difference between winning and losing. So not surprised they went to Epke early.
And they take it in a different way, Jay. Epke takes it with her left hand a majority of the time. Madison Smith with her right.
Double team comes. Northwestern's been quick to pass out of it. Beautiful ball movement. Everything but the finish. Sam Forrest trying to track it down for North Carolina. Madison Taylor all over her. And Northwestern battling. Who wants it more in the national championship? Taylor comes up with it. Finds Foster. Goes to goal. Misfires.
I love with the aggression that Northwestern is attacking the cage. They're doing an excellent job moving the ball. There's no hesitation.
Taylor working against Forrest. All-American against All-American. Shot clock ticks down to 8. Ratana Pruska, the freshman, has to hurry here. Shot clock at 3. Goes to goal. Nelson makes the save. Nothing has come easy for North Carolina in this opening quarter. Usually it's the Tar Heels who enforce their pressure and will on their opponent. We've got an injury in midfield. Kylie Motice spinning against Lucy Monroe, and Monroe went immediately down.
You hate to hear that, see that, and the crowd has gone completely silent. There's a lot of concern.
Worth mentioning, it poured for 5 hours this morning. Fortunately, it just stopped before first draw, but that is a slick surface down there. The absolute last thing you want to see in a national championship game with two teams going so hard, the energy, the effort. Monroe pops up with the help of the Wildcats training staff. The senior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. She has been so integral on the right side of this Northwestern offense since Olivia Adamson went down injured.
She's so smart and crafty, coming off a one-goal performance in the semifinal game. You hate to see her go down. One of those players that's constantly mentioned just in terms of just how she supports the team.
Annabelle Hasselbeck down on the sideline. We'll get an update on Monroe from Annabelle as soon as we have one. Slow start for North Carolina. Not often we say that about the nation's #1 scoring offense. They average just under 18 goals per game, and they get their second. Eliza Osborne blows it right by Cuoco. What an individual effort as the Tar Heels pull one back.
The ACC Midfielder of the Year, Eliza Osborne, has exploded in her sophomore year and is no stranger to big moments. Had a phenomenal game in the title game a year ago, but she's got straight line speed, and she is one of the best top dodging threats from a north-south perspective. You see that subtle plant step, wins her the angle, and she's got range on her shot as well. One of the best at pulling the trigger right out of the dodge before the slide can even touch her. Osborne is a fearless dodger, and she's rangy. She's 5'10", and she is shot out of a cannon in the midfield.
She does not slow down when she takes that shot, which is so tough to stop.
And she loves playing against a man-to-man defense. Oftentimes, she is that top dodging threat from right outside the 12-meter arc.
Epke moved early, so North Carolina ball. Osborne, the goal scorer, settles North Carolina back into their offense.
Mary Carroll for Northwestern's defense is marked up on Chloe Humphrey, very tight behind the cage. You're really marked up, trying to deny her the ball. That's been the beauty of this Carolina offense, though, is their depth, that so many other people can score. Even though Chloe Humphrey is the star, there's got a lot of other weapons.
Osborne goes to goal, back-to-back goals. Eliza Osborne uncorks a flamethrower. And the ACC Midfielder of the Year, showing why.
Osborne, 32nd goal this season. She was a freshman on the national championship team last year, got a ton of experience, but you can see her confidence growing this year. So confident with the ball coming off the dodge. Excellent job of just exploiting what the defense gives her. And they need her to step up. Right now, they're not able to operate their typical offense, having Chloe Humphrey get a ton of touches, and she's doing her part.
And you touched on it. That's what's so hard for opposing defenses. You have to worry about multiple dodging threats. And Northwestern is not sliding to Eliza Osborne, so she will attack that one-on-one all day.
2 goals in 40 seconds for Osborne.
And it's all a matter of getting possession. Since they made the switch at that draw control, they've been able to get some key wins and transition down the field. Maddie Smith back out there for Northwestern against Sarah Gresham.
The Tar Heels have continued to go with Gresham, who, even though we did see her sparingly in the semifinal in that fourth quarter, you have to imagine they didn't expect to use her this much this early. So even though she came in and gave them a spark with 2 draw control wins, she hasn't won any since. Back-to-back North Carolina goals. Let's see how Northwestern responds.
The open cutters in the inside have been a bit concerning. So Carolina needs to make sure that they don't get caught ball watching.
And it's all about the second slide. So when you slide to the dodging threat, you've got to have the backside come and help to mark up for North Carolina on those cutters in the inside.
Midway through the shot clock, 40 seconds left on it. Epke goes inside, rings off the pipe, inches away.
The sound of that pipe is sweet music to a goalie's ears. It's a good clear. Both Carolina and Northwestern put excellent pressure on the ride, so you want to make sure that you transition the ball safely and smartly.
Their 4 goals is already the most allowed by North Carolina in the first quarter this year, and they were a couple of inches away from giving up 5 in this opening quarter.
This North Carolina offense is trying to get Chloe Humphrey the ball. She is being shut off by Mary Carroll.
Godin has a step, couldn't finish it. Chloe has the backup.
She can be very dangerous from behind the cage. She loves to operate from behind here.
Chloe, fearless. Battle for the ground ball, won by North Carolina. There's 30 seconds on the shot clock, 1:20 remaining in this opening quarter.
Northwestern sliding to Addison Patillo. She had 5 goals in that semifinal win over Maryland.
Osborne, the hot stick. Koloko got it with her foot. Almost a first quarter hat trick for Osborne. Levy with a fresh shot clock. It resets. Kate Levy.
1 minute remaining in the quarter.
Great defense by Northwestern to win it back. Annabelle Child all over it.
Big storyline in the regular season meeting when Northwestern beat Carolina was 8 near free positions. That's how Carolina scored a lot of their goals. They had 8 free position goals in that game. We've not seen one yet.
And that was when Northwestern was in their zone defense, getting caught in those 3-second penalties, shooting space lanes, giving up those 13 8-meter opportunities to North Carolina. Today, they're in their man-to-man defense, really trying to command the one-on-one.
New rule in college lacrosse this season. If you have possession at the end of the first quarter, you start with the ball in the second quarter. There is no draw control. And it looks like Northwestern is electing to do that. They'll have a little more than 30 seconds on the shot clock to start this second quarter with a 4-3 lead. The most goals scored against Carolina in the first quarter all season. And it's Northwestern, the #1 seed here at home with an awesome atmosphere in Evanston. The Wildcats trying to find their 9th national championship. And they're off to a terrific start. 1-goal lead after 1. What a start to the national championship game in women's lacrosse. Northwestern, the #1 seed, a 4-3 lead. The Wildcats have scored the most goals that any team has in the first quarter against this talented North Carolina team. There is a lot of lacrosse left. The sea of purple has been prominent, and our colleague and prominent Northwestern alum Mike Wilbon in the sea of purple. He's with Annabelle.
Well, I'm here with Northwestern's biggest star, Mike Wilbon. Mike, you've said that you've been to many of these games for Northwestern, but being here today, having their national championship game at home, what is this atmosphere like?
It's amazing. It's different than anything I think that the event has ever had. I've been at Towson, Maryland, and when it was there several times, and we won there. But look at this. I mean, you know, Foxborough, it's great to have it in an NFL stadium, except that it looks like an empty stadium. This, we got a lot of people. There's some blue skies coming. It's loud. North Carolina certainly wants to avenge its loss this season to us in Chapel Hill in overtime. And, you know, teams don't win when they host. I think Kelly was the last person to do that like 30 years ago. And so we're excited.
We've covered a lot of games, a lot of great players in Kelly, who you mentioned. What makes her so special?
Wow. You know, anybody that Bill Belichick just her practiced it and looked her up if she's a New England kid and she grew up rooting for him. I mean, it's the people talk about culture, which is one of the great overused words in what we do. But she's established that years ago, and people need to come. It doesn't mean they all fit instantly when they walk in the door, but they fit quickly. And she's all the tenets of great championship coaching with defense. You have to defend North Carolina, and we've done that so far in that first quarter. Narrow lead, but to withstand their pressure like that means there's some great defense on Kelly's team's in 9 tonight.
Lots of lacrosse to go. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks for your time.
We appreciate it.
Right on cue, a terrific save by Jenica Cuoco, the Northwestern goalie. I'm impressed with Mike Wilbon's women's lacrosse knowledge. He was dropping it with Annabelle. It's very cool for me. I got into sports in elementary school, middle school, every day after school, watching PTI, watching Mike Wilbon, and here he is rooting on his Wildcats. A hectic sequence. The North Carolina got a great look, but could not cash in. Northwestern looking for another. Oh, that is a great back check, but it's whistled for a foul against Charlotte Corkins. That looked clean at first look.
You could tell Corkins was waiting. She was waiting for that last-second effort. A lot of times, those defenders will read when the attacker gets ready to pull their stick back to release the shot. Watch her patience right here.
Position number 13.
I think the check was good. It was a held whistle, I believe, for 3 seconds, a foul that happened earlier in that scoring play.
This is the first free position for either team. So when there's a foul in the critical scoring area, you get an 8-meter saved by Nelson. So both goalies with a huge save at the start of this second quarter after the offenses dominated the first quarter. And here's the Tar Heels in transition again.
These teams match up so well that it is going to be the little things, the goalie play, the draw play, those possessions.
Northwestern has made a schematic switch. They are now in their zone defense. We've seen them do this. They will throw every few possessions, every few goals, they'll switch from man to zone or vice versa, and it just throws off an opposing offense because you have to communicate through the switch.
Osborne, she's had the hot stick early, 2 of the Tar Heels' 3 goals. And Jenny Levy, North Carolina head coach, says they can play any defense they want against us. We have seen it all this season, but Northwestern has been so effective mixing and matching the defenses throughout the year. Hard whistle.
Yeah, usually when you hear that hard whistle, that's a stoppage in play for a big reason. Could be a card, although the official's running over to discuss something. Could be an issue with the clock.
Officials video review to determine a deflection on the shot.
Okay, so an official review to see if the shot was deflected, and if it was, the shot clock would reset.
And we've seen in games this year that every second can matter, so they want to make sure they get that right.
From up here in the booth, it sounded like it was a Cuoco save on that shot from Osborne.
If it was a goalie save or pipe, that should be reset.
So on the play right before this, Eliza Osborne took that shot with some pressure, but did it hit Jenica Cuoco as a save, or was it tipped?
Well, the sun has come out. The rain that poured all morning has dissipated, and what an awesome atmosphere here in Evanston. Who could have believed this when Kelly Amonte Hiller took the job all those years ago in 2005? That little more than 2 decades later, this place would be packed for a national championship game.
Okay, take a look at the shot here from Osborne.
And it looked like the ball changes planes. So it looked like it was Cuoco who got a piece of it right at the right at the last second.
So the shot clock should be reset. Well, that was a very clear look right there.
After review, we have a deflection possession with some time played off. We're going to reset the game clock to 11:52 and the shot clock to 52.
So 21 seconds added to the shot clock for North Carolina.
This Northwestern team, we've been talking about how they rotate out of man into zone and mix it back and forth depending on their opponent. And they're doing that today. And I think UNC is really suited well for that. They're such an excellent passing team. They've got a little bit of everything. They're the top scoring team in the nation that they can recognize it so quickly and play off of it well.
They thrive against a zone defense. In the national championship a year ago, 9 out of their 12 goals were assisted. But this zone defense for Northwestern, they play with big sticks. They like to bait passes to the inside and get a piece of them.
Humphrey was looking for Patillo. Those two have combined for more goals than any dynamic duo in the country, but they've yet to connect today. And here's Taylor LaPointe. She scored the first 2 goals of the game, been quiet since. Both of these defenses have done a nice job making adjustments and settling into this national championship game. Foster gets free and scores. Aditi Foster curls around the cage, beats Nelson. And Northwestern back up by 2.
This right here is Aditi Foster just dominating her one-on-one. She sets herself up, bounces away from the defensive pressure to create that gap in between them, and then she goes to work. She knows she wants to get to her dominant left hand, so it was the move prior to earning that step that wins her the race to goal line extended, and that's why you want to have range on your shot, so you can reach around goal line extended and get a shot off around the goalkeeper to the far pipe as that goalkeeper, Betty Nelson, hugs the near side. Aditi Foster has so much pop off the dodge. She is as confident as ever in her sophomore year. Such a dynamic player, scored the game winner in the Big Ten championship game a year ago in overtime. Has had such a great career so far.
I love the different changing the attacking points when you attack from behind the cage also. She didn't need a lot of angle there, shooting between the legs, just gets a step above goal line extended. And now Kaylee Harton, who's just been such an instrumental part of this team, winning those key draw controls. She's been excellent coming off the circle.
The leader, the captain, the heartbeat of this Carolina program, Harden, the redshirt junior. The stats do not show her true impact on the game. You talk to every single one of her teammates, they say she is the unsung hero who makes the winning plays game in and game out.
And she runs both ways. She lugs a lot of miles as a two-way midfielder, has done so her entire career.
And Carolina has 4 two-way midfielders. They are spoiled for depth in that position, and that usually helps them as the game goes on. And they're going to need it today against this tough Northwestern team. Here's Kylie Motais. Kawoko makes the save again. Her 5th of this first half.
Kawoko is reading those shots high. She's exploding to the ball. If you're North Carolina, you want to add some deception. Motais had her hands free right there. You want to throw in, whether you don't have time to get a stick fake off, use your body, use your eyes, and throw some deception, change levels.
Well, you don't set the single-season save record at Northwestern by accident. The transfer for Drexel, who's never been out of the first round of the NCAA tournament, now starring in the championship game.
Lots of swinging checks, no calls.
North Carolina wins the ball back.
Relentless pressure on the ride.
Feels like Northwestern, Sheehan, has taken Carolina out of their rhythm, which they've seemingly had all season. Even in the lone loss to Northwestern, they did still score 16 goals in that game.
Yeah, I think with Northwestern putting the pressure, and that's what they're known for. They don't let up defensively. They don't let up on the ride. They're very aggressive, and they've started the game fearless, and they still look like they're playing with a ton of confidence. They're the home team, the #1 seed. See them collapsing on the ball. There's a lot of communication here. They're doing an excellent job. Look at #2 in white, Jalen Rozga in the center. She's the rover of the zone. She's constantly rotating.
Belter, shovel shot. Incredible finish. The senior delivers with a spectacular shot to beat Kawoko.
This is a kind of shot that just gets the whole crowd and sideline energized. Felter, the senior leader, watch this backhanded shovel cannon, but it's the change of levels. A lot of players do that, and I'm not really sure where it's going. Look at that little twister shot and the placement of that shot. That is beautiful. Kuoko's not able to read that. She doesn't know where the release point is. She can't see her eyes.
I mean, the hands. Are you kidding me? Darcy Felter, we have seen it all season long. She's ended up on SportsCenter top 10 multiple times. She didn't have enough time to switch to her left hand. She had a double team closing in on her. It's the stick work and the dramatic finish. No look by Darcy Felter.
You're so right, Charlotte. Great point on the SportsCenter top 10, because you think Chloe Humphrey would have the most Tar Heel goals that wind up in the SportsCenter top 10, but Felter has that flair for a dramatic finish. And let's check in with Annabelle down on the sideline.
Well, guys, Darcy Felter, one of 4 Tar Heels who was drafted to the WLL. So, Charlotte, you're going to have to take on shots like that from the New York Charging.
Annabelle, I'm lucky I play on the other side of the ball, but my team is excited to have her in the league, and what a moment for Felter on the big stage.
Yeah, we'll leave that to Shea Dolce. Tried to give and go to Felter again, couldn't connect. Kuoko, risky pass to goalie, somehow holds onto it. Godin in hot pursuit. Both of these teams really dialing up the pressure on the ride, a relentless ride that has shown up all season, but feels dialed up even more in this championship game. Contact, no call, and the ride pays off as Carolina wins it back. Here come the Tar Heels. Patillo, a full burst. Good recovery by Madison Smith.
Smart play there by Patillo. With the pace of this game, the tempo, to pull that out, she did not have numbers.
Didn't have numbers, didn't have backup. So she misses that shot. That's going to be a turnover going the other direction. You get the sense of just the heightened emotions out here that every possession matters, understanding how important the ball is and trying to get it back.
Here's Chloe. Finds Patillo, charges in, and scores! Addison Patillo ties it at 5.
Tar Heels goal scored by number 16, Addison Patillo. Assisted by
The swarming presence. The sea of blue jerseys hunting the ball down in transition. Coming up with a stop, it's the two-way midfielder, Eliza Osborne. And then it's off to the races. When you focus on Chloe Humphrey, who's on the other side of the field? The insanely lethal first step of Addison Patillo. We got a tie game in the national championship.
Well, you would never know. It was pouring this morning. A beautiful day just outside Chicago in Evanston, Illinois, midway through the second quarter of a national championship game between North Carolina and Northwestern, tied at 5. This is what we expected between the Big Ten champs and the ACC champs.
Just what a battle between the top 2 teams. After a season where we've had so many upsets, we get number 1, number 2, rematch of a great regular season game. Northwestern shot out of the cannon, but the Carolina battle back.
And it's all about the adjustments. We've seen adjustments at the draw with Sarah Gresham coming in for North Carolina. We've seen adjustments defensively for Northwestern, shifting in and out of their man and zone. Each quarter is going to look different, but every possession counts.
You look at that 3-0 start for Northwestern. You mentioned it, shot out of a cannon, but North Carolina has battled back to tie it at 5. Northwestern continues to make adjustments, both with their defense mixing between zone and man and on the draw control. Madison Smith back in there for her 8th draw. Epke has taken 4 of them. And the Wildcats win it. Hard foul in the middle of the field. Corkins knew it immediately. So now Northwestern will go on the power play.
That's going to be a green card issued for illegal use of the stick. And that can be an empty stick check above the waist or a rough or dangerous check. And so that is a releasable penalty. If Northwestern scores, UNC will go back to even strength. You have to be careful. You really just want to make sure you don't go for those swinging motions. Play body.
And in that semifinal, North Carolina had 2 fouls, 2 green cards against Maryland. They are already at 2 today in this first half.
Well, Northwestern felt like they should have had a power play earlier. Instead, the officials let them play on, and it led to a North Carolina goal. They get the call on this possession midway through the power play. Foster fires too much on it. LaPointe has the backup for Northwestern.
Northwestern's offense trying to use the ball movement, use the passing skip lanes to set up a goal opportunity. You have to continue to move your feet, though.
Taylor, great find. Lacasio buries it off a terrific feed from Madison Taylor. Elite vision. The Wildcats convert on the power play. And Northwestern's back in front.
Excellent score by Lacasio and utilizing attacking from behind the cage. It can be very difficult for a goalie. They don't understand where the cutter is coming from. So when Lacasio gets the ball, Nelson's got to react to that. You throw in a quick fake to then freeze the keeper and then shoot around. Madison Taylor working the assisting plays here. Lacasio just adding a little bit of a jump shot on that, some deception.
I love how she kept moving up the hash to increase that angle there. A lot of players will stop at goal line extended and try to just use their stick. It's continuing your foot movement to increase your angle. We've seen these lefties, Lacasio, Madison Taylor, Aditi Foster, early action on that side of the field.
It made Madison Taylor one of the most elite goal scorers in the history of this sport. Is not just a goal scorer. 3 assists on Northwestern's 6 goals for Maddie Taylor.
And that's what makes you dangerous. She leads the team in assists, and that's when you're a threat. When you're a threat to score, if the defense sends a double or triple team to you, then you dish the ball, and that's what really makes her a dual threat.
So Northwestern is stuck a nose in front with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first half. North Carolina looking for the immediate answer. They are so good in responding.
See how spaced out North Carolina's offense is. This allows them to see the lanes, see the skip passes that forces this Northwestern zone to shift quickly.
Here's Chloe. No room to operate. Osborne playing through contact.
Northwestern in this zone defense does clog up a lot of space in the 8-meter when UNC looks to approach the cage. So it's hard to get those feeds inside and hard to dodge from behind.
20 seconds on the shot clock. Long possession for the Tar Heels.
So they're able to catch Northwestern in 3 seconds. That's a defensive violation. When if a defender's in that 8-meter area and you're not guarding a player within an arm and a stick's length,
North Carolina, free position.
Hold the whistle till the scoring play ends, and then you can set up on the 8-meter.
This is where Northwestern got into trouble when these two teams met in March. They had 20 total fouls. They gave up 13 8-meters.
This is North Carolina's first 8-meter. It belongs to Patillo, the explosive first step and the finish. One of the best first steps off the 8-meter in the sport. Addison Patillo ties it at 6.
Patillo is explosive. She'll beat you off the dodge. She'll beat you off ball cutting with her straight line speed. But off the 8-meter, she just wins the race to goal line extended. We've seen this time and time again this season. She barely gets touched because of her start line, her first step off the 8-meter. Players practice this over and over, all fall with your strength and conditioning staff. You work on that start line to try to generate shot angles like that. Patillo is the best in that category.
Earlier, just how clogged the middle is, and Marie McCool telling her offense, you have to pump fake because the defense is collapsing so hard and fast. That's how they're able to get those 8-meter opportunities and looking for more on the perimeter as well.
Yeah, you want to try to see if you can draw shooting space. So doing that pump fake, showing the officials you're looking to shoot, you got the opportunity to shoot, but you can't because if there's a player in your way, can help get you an 8-meter if you get awarded a shooting space violation.
Marie McCool, the offensive coordinator for North Carolina. Constant adjustments throughout a national championship game. especially when you go against a Northwestern defense that you don't know if you're going to see man-to-man or zone. We've seen both in this first half. Here's Madison Taylor, rings it off the pipe. That would have been her first goal. She does have 3 assists in this first half.
Early offense is when Northwestern is at its best, pushing tempo, attacking the one-on-ones before North Carolina's slides are ready to go. You can see Taylor had her hands free there.
Harden, rare miscue from her in the clearing game, turns it over. And Kaylee Harden is known as a one-woman clearing machine, but once again, the pressure getting to North Carolina.
2 failed clears for this North Carolina team, and they are so good, clear at a rate of 97% on the season.
Yeah, only 10 failed clears all season long coming into today's national championship game. And it gives Northwestern an extra opportunity to break the deadlock. 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half.
You can see how extended this North Carolina defense is on the left side. Heightened awareness for Aditi Foster and Madison Taylor.
Maddie Epke, save made, Betty Nelson.
Betty Nelson playing very strong in cage right now. The regular season game had just 2 saves. Osborne opts to pull it out, and they're still trying to get numbers with the right personnel in the field for North Carolina, so smart move.
Trying to squeeze it into the freshman Reese King, and again, the collapse of that Northwestern defense takes it away.
The Northwestern zone is particularly down on the crease with Madison Smith. They flash so well. They communicate through that. They know the ball is spinning through X and back up around. And they anticipate well there, but North Carolina's ride does so as well.
And here goes Chloe Humphrey, 1-on-3. She's got the speed to beat him. Humphrey. Good recovery by Mary Carroll.
Carroll's been great for Northwestern. Excellent job just staying on the body, and I like that Chloe Humphrey took her time, did not try to force that shot.
They're going to call Madison Taylor offsides here, which will send North Carolina woman up on the power play at the end of this first half. Everyone in the stadium's eyes, their eyes were on Humphrey, who was well ahead, but behind the ball, the officials saying Northwestern had too many across the line.
So keep your eyes on this restraining line right here as Humphrey transitions the ball across. It was behind this play.
Well, in that shot, there was 5, which you're allowed to have.
You've got to keep 4 field players back along with your goalie on the restraining line, and
Didn't
it's
get
a green card
look
penalty.
at it, but North Carolina jumps into the power play with a minute remaining.
And it's not an automatic score when you are a woman up. It makes things easier, but it is difficult to score, especially you have to abide by making sure you get a clean shot and shoot safely.
Chloe feeds it. Great save, Kawoko. Went low for the denial.
She is exploding to the ball, taking away the angle behind her. When a goalie comes out like that, it rushes your shot. You don't see a lot of the net, and she just is exploding with confidence to the top of her arc.
3-time goalie of the year when she was at Drexel in the CAA, and is coming to the Big Ten. Northwestern this year, MVP, most outstanding player in the Big Ten tournament. Excellent takeaway here, Grace Ann Leonard.
North Carolina has time. Chloe has Patillo, finds her. Everything but the finish. 9 seconds here. Patillo reloads, feeds Godine. She can't score it. A flurry of shots at the end of the first half, but Northwestern stands tall. denies North Carolina what would have been their first lead of the game. Incredible to think we're midway through this championship game and the Tar Heels have not had a lead.
This is a game that we expected. Two teams that match up so well against each other. So much history. Absolute battle. Top two teams, two of the best scorers, but the supporting cast really making the difference.
The last time the national championship game was tied at halftime, 2018, James Madison and Boston College. But this is what we expected. Big Ten champs, ACC champs, tied at 6 at the break. Let's hear from Annabelle Hasselbeck, who's with Eliza Osborne.
Eliza, you started this game down 3. You guys have climbed back to tie it up at half. What was the difference maker?
I think we just needed to play our game. We came out here. Obviously, the draw was a big part of our game that we needed to focus on. We adjusted, and we started to take control of that. Now we just got to stick to our game plan and not let them control us, but us control their pace.
It has been physical between the 30s. What will be the key in transition?
Yes, I think getting it up fast. That was something that we're working on, pushing fast breaks. So I think getting the ball out and fast will help us a lot.
Thanks, Eliza.
Yeah, thank you.
What a back and forth battle. Rachel DeCecco, Courtney Cronin, they have so much to break down. They've got a beautiful view of the field in Lake Michigan from up there. So much to talk about. What is going to separate these two teams in the second half? Second half of the NCAA Women's Lacrosse Championship on ESPN, presented by Yeti. The Big Ten champs, the ACC champs, and this is what we expected. Close and competitive. That's what we've got. Tied at 6 as we begin the third quarter. And it's turned into a beautiful day. You never know, it was raining all morning, and that's what these two teams deserve. Charlotte North, Sheehan Stanwick Birch, Jay Alter with you. And we sold this game as the two best scorers in the country, Chloe Humphrey and Madison Taylor. Probably didn't think midway through it they'd combine for just one goal.
Definitely a surprise for me, but they've impacted the game in other ways. So the focus on Chloe Humphrey, she's gotten 5 shots, just been able to connect on one, but it's opened other people up like Eliza Osborne. And Madison Taylor, she impacts the game in other ways.
Yeah, she's been drawing double teams and dishing to players like Aditi Foster and Abby Locasio. Those lefties are working well together. North Carolina has adjusted in terms of offensive scheme against Northwestern zone defense. But Madison Taylor impacts the draw circle as well. We saw Sarah Gresham for North Carolina come in after Charlotte Ratchin got the start, but Madison Taylor's chemistry with Madison Smith.
And there goes Lexi Zank, North Carolina's second half goalie. We told you before the game, but very unique but effective system for North Carolina. Betty Nelson plays the first half in goal. Lexi Zank takes the second half. They are undefeated in this system. You don't see it in lacrosse or any sport for that matter, but Carolina's been doing it since the middle of March.
And credit Carolina sticking to what they've done throughout the most of the season when they started using 2 goalies, Betty Nelson for 30 minutes, Lexi Zank for 30 minutes. In the regular season meeting, they did go a little bit in and out, but that was before they started utilizing this. Betty Nelson, she let in a lot of goals early on. Northwestern went up 3-0. They stayed with her, and she ended up being very strong, had 4 great saves.
Here's Chloe Humphrey in attack mode. Madison Smith all over her. Humphrey draws the foul.
So they'll call a push on that play, so no green card being issued, but North Carolina will maintain possession of the ball.
We mentioned Chloe, 5 shots, only 1 goal. You have to think they're going to continue to go to number 2 in Tar Heel Blue. She has never played a game in her whole career where she has had less than 2 goals. She averages 5.
When Northwestern was in their man-to-man, Mary Carroll was denying her the ball. Now they're in their zone defense. Chloe Humphrey is an ultimate zone buster because she doesn't stop moving without the ball in her stick. She's constantly reading where is the zone shifting and how can she exploit the backside.
Patillo draws 3 defenders. Charge called. Jalen Rosga wins the possession for Northwestern, putting her body on the line.
It's a big defensive win. So many fouls get called against the defense. When you can pick up a charge call, that is huge.
We've seen a couple of charge calls on both sides of the ball today. You have to have your feet set. You have to have clear positioning. But those are those gutsy plays in a championship game that really stand out.
We heard Rachel DeCecco at halftime, the only Tewaaraton winner, National Player of the Year, to play defense. And of course, she's talking about defense, saying Carolina should go before Northwestern can get their defense set. The Wildcats continue to operate so well in the half-field set. Lexi Zank makes her first save since coming in relief to start the second half, a comfortable save.
And give her credit for that. She definitely warmed up during halftime, but you're coming in cold. You've been watching the game, and we've talked to her about that. She said she actually likes being the second goalie coming in. She's able to focus on the shooter's tendencies, and she's energized and is ready to play.
And she said Betty Nelson, who's the first half goalkeeper, does such a good job giving her the scouting report that she feels like she has a huge advantage in the second half.
You think about the flip side, too. The Northwestern players, they're looking at a different goalie, different tendencies, different strengths and weaknesses, so you have to adjust.
Humphrey dumps it to the doorstep. Eva Ingrilli off the feed from Chloe gives North Carolina their first lead of this championship game.
This starts with an excellent save from Lexi Zank. Starting the second half here. A clean transition down the field. Like the patience here, the focus when Chloe Humphrey has the ball. And then Grilly, look at her patience there. Not much of an angle. She shoots around her defender and just throws in the pump fake. But this is all set up by Chloe Humphrey. So even though she only has one goal in this game, she's generating other opportunities for other players.
So much of the offense is centered around Chloe Humphrey and Addison Patillo. But you have a player like Eva Ingrilli who has battled injury and has shown so much resilience in her career. She has some of the most elite stick work as well. We've seen her throw non-dominant behind the backs in tournament games. I mean, she has some of the best hands around goal line extended.
Hard to believe it took until the third quarter for North Carolina to claim their first lead of the day. Hard and contested. She ran out of real estate and turned it over. Madison Taylor comes away with it for Northwestern. Great find. The finish, an immediate answer. Gabriella McAllister off incredible vision from Taylor. And Northwestern answers in just 18 seconds.
Attacking in early offense. This is where Northwestern thrives, and Madison Taylor has shown up to dish today, all the way from the restraining line. She sees this cut from McAllister well before anyone else. McAllister just beats the entire North Carolina defense down the field and has an incredible over-the-shoulder angle, but it is the pass from Taylor on the money. That is such a hard pass to make from how far Madison Taylor was behind the play. Double teams have been going to Taylor all day, and she has been patient and poised.
And smart pass. McAllister, just her 7th goal of the season, only played in 15 games this year. So huge opportunity to deliver on the biggest stage.
So Carolina's only lead of the day lasted just 18 seconds. What a response for Northwestern, trying to do something that a women's lacrosse program has not done since 1986, and that is win a national championship on your home field. And it was decided more than a year ago that the championship would be held here in Evanston. And Northwestern said it probably affected their slow start to the season. They were already thinking about today, where they lost 3 of their first 8 games, where they have been undefeated since. Osborne, great find. Chloe looking for that corner, could not find it. Now they say closest to the ball was North Carolina, but that looked like Northwestern had a beat on it.
What a pass there by Osborne with pressure all over her to even see that lane.
Patillo flies in from up top, fires into the back of the net, and the Tar Heels are back in front.
Tar Heels goal scored by number 16, Addison Patillo.
These two teams going punch for punch. 3rd goal of the day for Patillo. Great ball move. Caroline Godin acting as a quarterback from behind the cage, throws in the pump fake. And Patilla, she just slides into space. She's so smooth, understands where the openings are, and just so composed when she catches the ball. Great finish. And you can see a little bit of a deception. She brings her stick low, shoots it across her body.
Godin, the quarterback of this offense from behind. She's a veteran. She fills that role that Ashley Humphrey, the older sister of Chloe Humphrey, played a year ago on this stage. She dissects the defense from behind and as the eyes and the voice from back there. Chloe Humphrey drags the defense down to the crease. She sees the skip pass over the top to Patilla.
Humphrey's generating a lot of shots. Leading goal scorer in the nation, leading scorer for this Carolina team in assists and goals. 6 shots, only converted on 1, which she's had about a 50% conversion rate this entire season. Great double team by Carolina.
Tar Heels win the ball back. Feels like for the first time in this championship game, the momentum is with North Carolina. Patillo has it again. How good has she been over the last 6 games? She has had at least 3 goals or more throughout the ACC tournament and NCAA tournament. Big players, big games. Patillo, one of many that Carolina has. Humphreys, another, who got upended in the critical scoring area.
It's going to be a cardable foul.
Yellow card comes out.
This is a huge call. This is a 2-minute non-releasable penalty. That means it does not release even after a goal is scored. And Chloe Humphrey is remarkable coming off the 8-meter. It looks like we're going to see a coach's challenge.
Yeah, Kelly Montehiller ran over to challenge this call, but take a look right here.
If contact was made, it's hard to see if contact was extended with the shaft of the stick into that head and neck area. That's what would make this penalty non-releasable.
There is contact, but there's not a lot of contact. And is Chloe running into Mary Carroll versus Mary Carroll pressing out on Chloe? And to your point, Sheehan, these are critical calls in a championship
Video
game.
review request by Northwestern to confirm or overturn the yellow card administered to 31.
Because if the yellow card stands, North Carolina is on the power play for a full 2 minutes. So even if the Tar Heels score, usually a penalty is wiped out, they get the full 2 minutes.
We saw how this penalty affected the men's games yesterday in Syracuse game with a non-releasable penalty. Okay, take a look here. Chloe Humphrey, number 2.
I don't see a lot of extension of the arms there. I don't see contact with the head and neck area, but there was definitely contact, but I do not think that it is a yellow card with the head and neck area.
Yeah, it looks to me like she hits the shoulder area, but it's almost more of Humphreys running into it. It's all about the angles, though, and so much can change just in terms of what the officials are seeing. The ruling on the field, though, this was a dangerous contact penalty, and that's when you make contact with the head and neck area, and that would be 2 minutes non-releasable.
I wouldn't be surprised if they downgrade this, and it would still be a foul in the 8-meter. Humphrey would get the 8-meter, but not a card.
Other option, they could downgrade the penalty to maybe a 2-minute and then releasable, which would still be a win for Northwestern if it did happen.
All right, let's get the call. A critical one in this 3rd quarter.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Yellow card, 31. Dangerous contact. Northwestern charged with a video review and a timeout. 2 minutes, non-releasable.
The Hall of Fame head coach Kelly Monte-Hiller in this sea of purple is stunned by that call.
And now Mary Carroll for Northwestern will be sidelined for that full 2 minutes. She started every game of her career. A sophomore defender has been huge this season.
When you're on a normal power play, there's a decision to make. Do you go to goal off the free position, or do you pull it out to set up your offense, woman up? No decision to make here. You got the nation's leading scorer, misses the cage. Carolina reloads with Kate Levy. Northwestern trying to survive this 2-minute power play that will not be wiped out even if Carolina does score. Felter Finds Humphrey, goes low. Couldn't bury it.
Here, this North Carolina offense, you want to remain patient. When you are woman up, you want to move the ball at hyper speed, continue to engage, and wait for the layup opportunity.
Levy draws contact, and a foul called. And this Northwestern sideline is getting increasingly agitated with the calls being made in this third quarter.
They wanted a charge on that, so Levy pump fakes a little bit. And I think she's falling on her own there. It looks a little bit like
lost her footing.
There is a check in the back from behind, and that looks more aggressive. That's all the difference of angles that you see. So it is, depending on your angle, you can make your own call.
Kate Levy buries it. Perfectly placed by Kate Levy. The daughter of legendary head coach Jenny Levy for North Carolina, who always shows up in big games at big times, buries her first goal of this championship game, 30th of the season.
Kate Levy is one of the toughest players on this North Carolina team. She is tough as nails as a two-way midfielder, but the lefty dodging threat from up top. She is so hard to stop in the one-on-one because she will barrel through pressure. She will handle the physicality. And she throws a little bit of a twister here as she's running away from that stick side defender. Take a look at the mother-daughter duo and what they have already accomplished in her young career in a Tar Heels uniform. Just a sophomore, part of that youth movement at North Carolina.
Now, in many ways, this is all Kate Levy knows, growing up in Jenny Levy's house, watching film at night. What a save! Lexi Zank to the rescue to deny Taylor, and now Osborne's off and running. Here come the Tar Heels in transition. Still on the power play for another 30 seconds here.
Early offense has favored Northwestern, but that shot selection, Madison Taylor probably hoping to have that back because they could have killed the penalty, and now North Carolina, another opportunity.
Kawoko could not make the double save. Reese King, the freshman, scores, and it's a 5-1 North Carolina run.
Look at this scene, a packed house witnessing this awesome display of lacrosse. Zank gets the save here. This was awesome. It looked like all but sure goal for Madison Taylor, comes up with it. And Godin, the feed in to Reese King for the nice quick stick finish.
Reese King has been red hot as of late. 3 goals on 4 shots in the second round win against Clemson. She had 2 in the semifinal game. She has a bright future ahead.
King, the pride of West Hampton Beach High School, making an impact in this national championship game. Now the officials having a long discussion here after the King goal. Think about if Maddie Taylor scores that goal and Lexi Zank does not make the save, it's 9-8 and Northwestern's right back in it. Instead, an incredible stop, and North Carolina adds to their lead.
Video review request by Northwestern to identify a goal circle violation on the previous goal.
So Northwestern using another video review here. And this is a big gamble midway through the third quarter.
If they lose this challenge, they would get another timeout taken and only be left with 1 timeout. You cannot enter the crease at any point. So did Reese King step in the goal circle?
It looks like she does after the ball went over the goal line. And is it on her own doing, or was she pushed in? So contact made. It's right there where she's dancing around to go celebrate.
That left foot is the foot in question right here.
Does that left foot come down on the crease?
Well, Kelly Amonte feeling very confident, sprinting down the sideline to get to the ref about this call.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. No goal.
Wow. So Northwestern does not lose a timeout. The call is overturned, and North Carolina loses the goal. Tar Heels fans can't believe it. And the call on the field was a good goal. So there's something the officials saw that was indisputable. They are 1,000% sure that King's foot was indeed in the crease.
I believe it's after the goal is scored, but you're still not able to enter into the crease.
So keep your eyes on her left foot. After she scores, it was right at the very end, that left foot tiptoeing the goal circle, but you cannot enter at any point.
Northwestern penalty has been released.
Back to even strength. Northwestern survives the 2-minute power play, only allowing 1 goal. Now can they pull one back on the run? It goes in! Maddie Epke. Zank got a piece of it, but not enough to keep it out. And just like that, Northwestern's back within 1.
Maddie Epke, the most sought-after player in the transfer portal this offseason, comes in from James Madison and has been stepping up big time in the NCAA tournament. Attacking off the dodge, using the mismatch, the miscommunication off of the elbow. Takes advantage of the time and room, a rip on the run to get them within 1.
What an incredible crowd, incredible game. Everything that this championship weekend deserves. North Carolina, a 9-8 lead midway through the 3rd quarter. Champ weekend concludes in Charlottesville tomorrow with the men's national championship game. Just like the women, it's 1 versus 2. Princeton, Notre Dame, tomorrow, 1 Eastern on ESPN. And let's check in with Annabelle Hasselbeck down on the sideline. She was in the Northwestern huddle.
Yeah, Jay, listening in to Coach Amonte, she's urging her defense to be more disciplined with their sticks. Even if you extend your arms, the refs are more likely to call it because it looks dangerous. So telling them to keep their poise in this moment.
After a relatively clean first half, we've seen some big officiating calls in this 3rd quarter. North Carolina, a disallowed goal, a 2-minute power play on what was a very controversial call against Chloe Humphrey. And a timeout taken by North Carolina to preserve possession. Jenny Levy using a timeout early in this 2nd half. She'll only have 1 remaining for the rest of the game, but that tells you how important possession is in a national championship game. And it gives us time to take a look at the Tewaaraton Award Spotlight presented by Stiefel. Chloe Humphrey, Madison Taylor. There are 5 finalists, but it's going to be one of those 2 announced as the winner on Thursday. Chloe Humphrey, the reigning Tewaaraton. This is the Heisman Trophy for college lacrosse. Look at that, 7.7 points per game. But does North Carolina need to win today for Chloe to go back-to-back?
It'll be interesting. A lot of times the winner of this national championship game happens to be the player that is awarded this Tewaaraton Award. And you look at Madison Taylor, they both have had amazing careers and seasons. Chloe Humphrey, just a sophomore, Madison Taylor, a senior. One of the things Madison Taylor has, not only she's an excellent goal scorer, but her presence on the draw control, and she's done an excellent job today securing those possessions. She's great at also getting cause turnovers. Chloe Humphrey has the same ability to cause turnovers. She's not involved in winning those draw control wins, but it will be interesting since we see them head-to-head.
They both do a lot more than just provide offensively in different ways. You mentioned Chloe in her relentless ride, her perfectly timed checks and cause turnovers. Madison Taylor is the only player in the history of Division I to have over 450 points to her name and over 200 draw controls.
this North Carolina team, #1 scoring offense in the nation. They shoot 51% of the season. They're just shooting 32% today, 9 of 28. Getting a lot of shots, not able to convert on them. And Chloe Humphrey, leading goal scorers, 1 goal on 9 shots.
I think the rest of this game is going to dictate who wins the towards on, especially with Chloe only having the 1 goal on those 9 shots, like you said, Sheehan.
Another schematic switch from Northwestern. They go into their man-to-man. We've seen them move in and out of this.
I thought they looked really good playing man against UNC early on in this game, but we've seen them fluctuate all season long.
Here's Chloe trying to spin free. Mary Carroll all over Humphrey, the nation's leading goal scorer.
Very careful, will need to be careful. She has 1 yellow card. If you get 2 yellow cards, you're removed from the game.
Godine, great find in Grilly, the finish. All set up by Caroline Godine, operating behind the cage. Tar Heels back up by 2.
Grilly gets her 14th goal this season. Part of that sophomore class has been so dominant. And Godine, the senior here, handles the pressure. She can be a great dodger, but she's an excellent feeder and just uses that pressure to her advantage, gets her hands free, and it's just an easy dump and dish for Ingrilli to put in the cage.
Watch the way Ingrilli, this is an incredible angle right here. She sneaks on the backside of that defense, catches them sleeping a little bit, and cuts to the back pipe. If she cuts to the front side, she shows herself, but she cuts to the back pipe. That is a high IQ play, off ball, away from Godine right there from Eva Ingrilli.
And you saw that was a great look by the goal camera, showing Kuoko will have to completely move. She's got to travel and get there. We see a draw violation, so some more momentum for UNC getting possession.
Like Sarah Gresham on 1 leg, continuing to cut it out on the draw control circle. Foul called against North Carolina, so Northwestern wins the ball back despite the Tar Heels winning the draw. Charlotte, you've said throughout this national championship game, Northwestern is at their best when they initiate early. Do you change that at all as the possessions get fewer and fewer in this second half?
I think Northwestern will continue to attack right here on the left elbow because slides are going, as you see right here, to Madison Taylor. But a perfectly closed double team there by North Carolina's defenders. North Carolina will double early to players like Madison Taylor, but they do such a good job of locking off the adjacent pass. So it looks to the player with the ball that they have nowhere to go with it.
This Carolina defense also been playing without Brooklyn Walker-Welsh, one of their star leaders, a veteran on this team. She's been out the last 2 games with a lower body injury, but they've adjusted well. Players like Grace Ann Leonard really stepping up. There's so much depth on this team.
Chloe behind the back pass, intercepted. Hannah Rudolph there to take it away.
Great anticipation.
Northwestern getting outscored in this third quarter, 4-2. Big possession here. Cumberland whizzes it wide. Here's Taylor going against Sam Forrest. All-American on All-American. Double team comes in. Great feed, and the finish! McAllister again! The freshman notches her second goal of the championship game. And Northwestern's back within 1.
What a time to have the best game of your freshman campaign. But it starts with the cause turnover, the anticipation here. Closing the double team, Mary Carroll. And then it's Hannah Rudolph anticipating And it all started with Madison Taylor. Before this play, she drives to her non-dominant hand, her right hand. She draws two, kicks it up to the point with Maddie Epke, but it's McAllister. Right spot, right time, burying off hand.
That looks so good that it went in. If that did not go in, she would be wishing that she just switched hands, rolled back, done anything. But that was an awesome goal. When those kind of goals go in, it just gives you some extra fire.
Speaks to what Madison Taylor does when the ball touches her stick and how the defense will slide. But they'll help and they'll shade away from players like McAllister.
Annabelle Child loses the ball. Kaylee Harden pries it free. And here comes North Carolina in transition. Tar Heels have numbers. Good recovery from Northwestern. Felter, what a save! Jenica Kawoko to the rescue!
Some of these goalie stops are absolutely sensational.
9 saves for Kawoko, and that's the biggest of the bunch.
She is moving so quickly, turning as the ball shifts from zone to zone, reading those high shots all game long.
Northwestern tried to thread the needle to Aditi Foster, well marked by Sophie Straka, and that's an untimely turnover, the 11th of the day for the Wildcats.
Sophie Straka, the transfer from Yale, has been marking up on Aditi Foster, really far out, really pressing, really trying to deny her the ball because of how much Foster and Taylor on that side of the field can create off one another.
Here's Kate Levy. Finds Humphrey, who scores! Chloe Humphrey! The nation's leading scorer adds another to her tally. Multiple goals in every game of her career, 109 on the season.
This was an awesome goal. Excellent play by Kate Levy. Chloe Humphrey is a workhorse in the inside. This time she's able to set her feet. You can see her really focus and be dialed in on that shot. 2 goals, she's got 10 shots, and look at what this means. This is monumental. 109 goals, ties Madison Taylor's NCAA record-breaking season last year.
When Charlotte scored more than 100 in 2021, I didn't know if we would ever seen it again. And Taylor does it last year. Chloe does it this year. There's her family. Ashley Humphrey, who was feeding a lot of those goals a year ago. Nicole is in the row behind her. And it's funny talking to Chloe. She told us she fell in love with lacrosse watching her older sisters, Ashley and Nicole, play the sport. Now the older sisters, they're the one in the crowd watching Chloe. All eyes on number 2 in Tar Heel Blue. 2-goal lead for North Carolina. Northwestern, they have responded in this third quarter. Every time North Carolina appears they're going to separate, the Wildcats have found an answer.
North Carolina really extending their defense, pressuring out, making it hard to work the ball around the perimeter.
North Carolina's defense, they want to trust their one-on-ones.
Cumberland has a step. Couldn't find the finishing touch. Taylor has the backup. Taylor goes against Sam Forrest again, looking for her 5th assist. Crease violation, North Carolina ball.
I like the unselfishness of Taylor, and she's been excellent with her feeding ability today. 4 assists. I think she could have taken that one-on-one. I want to see her push it a little bit. She's excellent at drawing the fouls as well.
And the slide was late. She had time and space there. Her teammates are setting her up.
1 minute remaining in this third quarter. North Carolina outscoring the Wildcats 5-3 since halftime.
You can hear great audio down on the sideline. The UNC staff saying we can go. Looks like they're gonna push here and try to come up with a play, a scoring option.
Well, there's no sense in holding the ball to start the fourth quarter with it because you'd only have 13 seconds on the shot clock at the start of the fourth.
And draw control is just about even when Northwestern had the early lead in that 11-11.
Trying to squeeze it into Chloe, unable to do so. And now with just 20 seconds left in the third quarter, Northwestern likely to hold on to possession to start the fourth quarter with the ball, trailing by 2 here at home in front of an incredible crowd in Evanston.
When you're trying to hold on to possession, you really just want to take care of the ball, because if no one has possession, you go back to a draw control.
Well, the Sea of Purple, they have been loud and proud all afternoon. Can they roar Northwestern to a fourth quarter comeback? The Big Ten champs against the ACC champs, battling for a national championship. And we head to the fourth quarter with North Carolina leading by 2. Start of the fourth quarter at the NCAA Women's Lacrosse Championship on ESPN, presented by Yeti. Beautiful day, perfect conditions here for a national championship game in the sport of women's lacrosse. North Carolina, a 2-goal lead, 11-9. They have kept Madison Taylor scoreless. The senior does have 4 assists. Chloe Humphrey's got 2 goals, the nation's leading scorer. The draw control is even. In Charlotte North, Shane Stanwick Birch, Jay Alter with you. If you're Northwestern trailing by 2, how do you come back and win in this fourth quarter?
Continue to be aggressive, and it's going to be about possession. So being clean, both teams very clean right now. 13 turnovers for North Carolina, 12 for Northwestern. Madison Taylor's been excellent distributing the ball, but she is your go-to-goal scorer. Held scoreless so far. Would like to see her initiate more, and she'll pass out of it.
They've had success on the left side of the field and operating in the one-on-one with players like Madison Taylor, Aditi Foster, to then open up that next layer of offense, because so much awareness of this North Carolina defense is on number 25 right here.
Taylor with the ball in her stick. 4 assists today, but no goals. Couldn't connect on the pass. It's loose. One back by Foster. It's interesting. Madison Taylor, only 2 career games in her 4 years without a goal. One of them was last year's national championship game against North Carolina. Can the Tar Heels keep her scoreless again on their way to a national title? LaPointe, 8 seconds to shoot. Finds Taylor in traffic. 3 seconds on the shot clock. LaPointe's got to go, and she scores with 1 second on the shot clock. Taylor LaPointe. A hat trick for LaPointe, and Northwestern's back within 1.
The patience and fearlessness of Taylor LaPointe. Madison Taylor with the smart play, the eyes up, understanding clock awareness. And then it's connecting 2 sides of the field with their glue player, Taylor LaPointe, who has so much range. She's so tall, she's so strong. She can shoot from the outside, but she sets herself up in the perfect place, the gap of the backside of this offense, as the shot clock was expiring.
The officials are over at the monitor to confirm that LaPointe got this off in time. It's interesting to note, the ball does not need to be in the back of the net by 0. It just needs to be out of the stick of the shooter. And I do think in real time, LaPointe got this off in time.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Goal.
Good goal.
Good goal, and a clutch goal. And you talk about Maddie Taylor and her vision here to dish it to LaPointe, but the awareness just to let that go. I actually think Zink must have been screened a little bit because she bit for a completely different shot. Did not see that coming. LaPointe, she has just played so excellent this entire season and really playing big in this NCAA tournament.
2 goals and 5 assists in their semifinal win over Maryland. She can dish from that righty elbow, but she has range on her shot.
Just 35 points a season ago. Coming into this game, she had 55 points, almost doubled her assists. You have to play her as a feeder. She's dangerous as a feeder and a scorer. And on the other side, for UNC, Kaylee Harden, number 17 in blue, has been phenomenal. Her ability to cause turnovers and get circle play, getting those draw controls has been huge.
You cannot say enough about what Kaylee Harden has done in this game. That is her 7th draw control on the circle. And Sarah Gresham's ability to know where Kaylee Harden is and direct the ball to the angle that Harden can run onto it. That tandem has changed the momentum at the draw control circle for the Tar Heels in this game.
And the draws become so critical in this 4th quarter. Possession is the name of the game, particularly in a 1-goal game with a national championship on the line. Levy goes over the head of Humphrey, finds Osborne, who shoots. Too much on it, high heat.
Northwestern back in their zone defense, so again, shifting in and out.
Godine, been a dangerous feeder today, checks it down to Kate Levy.
I like how Carolina, that's the excellent back check.
Reese Hansen, the freshman defender. Biggest check of the game. Northwestern with the ball, chasing an equalizer in this 4th quarter. And even though Madison Taylor is still scoreless, she's got 5 assists, so 25 in white. All eyes on the senior in this 4th quarter.
You can see her on the right side of your screen working with the Dee Foster, trying to set up a little pick. Both of those players have been closely guarded today.
Taylor, who's played in the national championship game all 4 years she's been at Northwestern, won it as a freshman, lost as a sophomore and junior, trying to bookend it with a win today. Trying to shake free of Forrest. She does. Here's Taylor. Feeds again, looking for LaPointe. They couldn't connect, and it falls to Lexi Zank. Quick outlet. Kate Levy controls it. Levy fires to Chloe. Those two can't connect. And we've seen Chloe Humphrey make that catch and turn it into a goal so many times in her career. But just a little off from the pass from Levy.
The Tar Heels have 1 loss. It's to this Northwestern team in the regular season back in March. After that, they've been tested at times. We've seen quarters when they started off slowly, but they've been able to rebound, but essentially cruise. This Northwestern team is battle-tested. Up until that North Carolina win, they had 3 losses. Colorado, Ohio State, and Syracuse, and they were shaky, but they've been testing games and overtime wins.
On the run, a flamethrower, and it's a hat trick for Gabriella McAllister. The freshman's tied it at 11.
Ninth goal this season, a season high. Her name has not been called a lot this year. Lucy Monroe went down. McAllister's in this lineup right now, and she is delivering on the biggest stage. Non-stick side, gets the tying goal. What a game for the first-year freshman.
The brightest lights. She is fearless. This rip on the run takes some guts.
You talk about making the most of your opportunity. You practice every day, and your number is called with Lucy Monroe going down in the first half. McAllister comes in and notches a hat trick and the game-tying goal of the 4th quarter.
3 goals on 3 shots. And talk about efficiency, too. She can't miss. So what does that say? Keep giving her the ball. I mean, she has been an excellent option out there. It's about the supporting cast. You get to this time of the season, it is your stars that you rely on, but it is a team effort.
And you think, was she on the scouting report for North Carolina? She recognizes no slide is ready to go to her because she is that freshman.
Number 9, Gabriella McAllister.
Long battle for possession, won by Kylie Moe Tyson, North Carolina. To your point earlier, Sheehan, about the battle-tested Big Ten champs Northwestern, they have played in 7 one-goal games this season. They are 5-2. North Carolina, they've played in just one-goal game. It was against Northwestern. They lost in overtime. So a more comfortable game in this fourth quarter for Northwestern, but Carolina has so much star power. Under 10 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Who's going to make the winning plays that leads to a national championship? Here's Chloe Humphrey. Been defended well all day. Only 2 goals for Humphrey. Goes to goal. Cuoco says no! And it's a crease violation. Jenica Cuoco has made 2 massive saves in this second half. She's got 10 on the day.
She is no stranger to championship games. That Big Ten title game this season had 18 saves in that one, some critical ones down the stretch.
Patillo swipes it free. Humphrey has it. And that's the relentless ride that North Carolina has displayed all season long, showing up in the fourth quarter of a tied national championship game.
Both these teams have 7 assists on the day. You can see right now North Carolina's been a bit chaotic, just trying to settle things down a bit, catch a breath.
When you play against the zone, you want to use that ball movement, allow everybody to get a touch around the perimeter.
I like when UNC operates 2 to 3 people inside that 8-meter area, trying to look for the openings and the seams inside.
Here's Kate Levy, and now Patillo. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Good ball movement. Osborne weaving through traffic. Contact, no call. Ground ball's loose. Who wants it more with the national championship on the line? And Northwestern recovers it. Here's Mackenzie Brown. The high-flying freshman, plenty of speed, charges in, finds Foster, goes to goal, and scores! Aditi Foster fires Northwestern in front.
The straight line speed of Mackenzie Brown, a freshman triggering transition, and you want to talk about early offense? Aditi Foster in the unsettled set puts the Cats up by 1.
Well, that goal scored by Aditi Foster is the difference in this game. Northwestern leaves 12-11. Let's throw it back to March 25th in Chapel Hill. This was the regular season matchup, and Sheehan, you said if we get treated to a game as good as this one, we are in for a spectacle, and it's been a mirror image of that game. This Madison Taylor goal in overtime won the game for Northwestern. It turned around their season. Both teams have been undefeated since. The ACC champs, the Big Ten champs, and it's Northwestern with a nose in front midway through this fourth quarter as we check in with Annabelle down on the sideline.
Well, Jay, Eliza Osborne was slow to get up out of that last possession. She came immediately off the field and laid on the ground with the trainer. She did not join that timeout with her team. She is currently in the injury tent getting seen.
As a key player in transition, Osborne with 2 goals on the day, but crucial winning draw controls and just legging the ball up and down the field.
I mean, that's the ACC midfielder of the year, so they will want Osborne back on the field as soon as possible. How about this fourth quarter? Northwestern started it trailing by 2. Now they've got the lead, a 3-0 Wildcats run, 3 shots, 3 goals. And now it's North Carolina chasing an equalizer with 7 minutes remaining in regulation.
North Carolina not scored in this fourth quarter so far.
And if you're the North Carolina offense, you want to continue to keep the ball moving around the perimeter. That forces the zone to shift in and out of position.
Levy finds Godine, who scores!
North Carolina!
Caroline Godine delivers. The seniors tied it at 12.
This is what you hope for when you play the national championship game. Kate Levy has the double team, and Godine just comes across streaking in the center. She's great at her catch and release. Excellent feeder. She absorbs the contact and shoots with it, uses it to her ability, shoots off her back foot. She has been clutch, been playing such a huge role for this team since her freshman year. Now as a senior, been more of a distributor, but when her name is called, she can deliver.
A year ago, had a goal and 3 assists in the national title game. Has so much experience, veteran leadership and presence in the big moments to calm her unit down and keep them composed. Just handling the physicality there on the inside.
The officials are huddled together after this game-tying goal. That was a long conversation.
Video review request by Northwestern to identify a cardinal foul on the previous goal.
So Northwestern enacting a coach's challenge on the game-tying goal.
And you think back to the challenges earlier in this game, they have 2 timeouts. So if they lose this challenge, they would go down to 1 timeout.
So watch Godine and her follow through here. I'm not seeing any contact with you. You need to be in control of your shaft and where the ball goes. As a shooter, does her follow through go into a player, potentially hits the arm? Does the arm move up into that shot?
This is really tough to tell. Remember, the call on the field was this was a goal, so you need indisputable evidence to overturn this. As you look, as she follows through.
And that angle, it looks like it hits the shoulder area even. It's very difficult. We've seen these reviews all throughout this season, and it's very hard to tell. The ruling on the field is that it was a good goal. They are also looking, does the defender move into that space?
And that makes it really difficult for the referees to determine that in real time. So much is happening in terms of both players.
And it's almost like the defenders are taught to move into the space. You want to almost get that contact because it can be a cardable foul. Was Godine's shot already initiated? I think it was. It's very tough to see if they think the defender's arm went in and up into it, into the body.
What a great look of what has been an incredible atmosphere in Evanston. The attendance, 8,316. A lot of those in purple. The Tar Heel fans have shown up as well. And who would have thought the first time championship weekend on the men's or women's side comes to the Midwest, you get more than 8,000 people watching what has just been a spectacular game between 2 terrific teams.
I mean, this is awesome. They've been an excellent host for this sport. So excited to have it here. They've really embraced it. People have come out and supported it.
And so many of the people in the crowd today are young lacrosse players, young teams who have come to see the best compete on the biggest stage. It's credit to Kelly and Monty Hiller and what she's done to grow the youth game around here.
Let's get the call after a lengthy
After review, the ruling on the field is burned. You have a yellow card. Number 4 blue. 4 blue.
And you two played the sport, I did not. I find that to be a very difficult call to make in a championship game.
It is really hard to tell from that angle if she makes contact. Mary Carroll's elbow was up in the air, but it is so difficult.
Sheehan, is there enough there to overturn it? Because it was called a good goal.
It's called a good goal. I think you can tell that the contact is there. It's just hard to see who stepped into space first or not. So I think a difficult call, but we've seen this all season long, and I do think there's going to need to be more clarification in the next rule cycle over the summer to kind of figure out where is a defender supposed to go, what space do they own, what does a shooter have to do, and how do we avoid this, because it is a very gray area.
I think gray is the right term to use, and I think it makes it difficult for fans, it makes it difficult for the referees as well, so clearing some of that up would help a ton.
And the other thing is, I believe you should have a 60-second clock. If you can't overturn it in a minute, then it is not clear, it is not obvious, it is not indisputable. And they took way longer than a minute and ultimately decide no goal. So Northwestern has the ball, a 1-goal lead, and is woman up for another 90 seconds here. And Northwestern 2 for 2 on the power play today. Make it 3 for 3. McAllister, her 4th goal in this championship game. And the Wildcats lead by 2 with 6 minutes to play. A career high for the freshman with a title on the line.
What a game for the freshman, Gabriella McAllister. She is feasting on the backside when all eyes are on Madison Taylor. When there's a stoppage in play, it can rattle teams. It can get you out of sync. But Northwestern has recognized when they go early, they have success. Madison Taylor has had her head up all game long. Dishing to the backside, and it's been McAllister who has answered the bell. Her 4th goal in the national championship.
Well, guys, every time she's come off the field, she hasn't had a second to catch her breath because she's getting so many high fives and hugs from her team. She is juicing them up today.
Well, this is the most McAllister has played all season long. Lucy Monroe goes down in the first half. You insert the freshman to a national championship game, and she scores 4 goals in relief. Incredible stuff. Now can Northwestern hold on to this 2-goal lead? They've outscored the Tar Heels 4-0 in this 4th quarter. The disallowed goal for Caroline Godin looming large with under 5 minutes and 30 seconds to play.
North Carolina has found success on the skip passing lanes against this Northwestern zone. It's been the assisted opportunities.
And you have to think they're looking for number 2 in Tar Heel blue. Chloe Humphrey, the nation's leading scorer. Hasn't had a touch on this possession. Seconds on the shot clock. Godin.
Humphrey's been open at times for a second.
10 seconds to shoot. Here's Darcy Felter. Felter surveys, not much time. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Kuoko hugs the pipe and says no. Northwestern ball. And Sheehan, if you're Northwestern, you have to have one eye on the clock. This is about protecting this 2-goal lead, and an unnecessary foul in the middle of the field. Patillo swiped at the head. That's a yellow card, and Northwestern will go on the power play.
That is a bad foul in the midfield right there. A yellow card is a 2-minute penalty, and they're calling for this check in the sphere. That's the area right in front of the head. I'm surprised that wasn't necessarily a green card, which we've often seen, which is a 1-minute penalty, but instead, Addison Patillo, who has been excellent today, 3 goals on 5 shots, is sidelined now for 2 minutes, and it is a releasable penalty. However, this is not what you want to have happen. 2 goals down with 4 minutes to go.
And releasable, for those that are new to lacrosse, if North Carolina scores, or if Northwestern scores, North Carolina would go back to even strength. Northwestern on the power play, though. Madison Taylor, we just showed you, no goals, but man, 6 assists has been the difference.
In the title game a year ago, Madison Taylor, despite losing, had 4 assists, no goals. So she is no stranger to being the facilitator when she is being shut off. Her early double teams are going to her.
And Sheehan, if you're Northwestern, are you more interested than killing this clock than scoring a goal to go up by 3?
No, I think that's when problems happen. You want to make sure you still continue to play. You need to be smart. So you want to be smart because you're conscious of the time, but not play to the clock.
Cumberland sends it inside. Maddie Epke, save made. Lexi Zank. There's still a minute remaining on this woman up power play for Northwestern. But if you're North Carolina, you've got to think with just 3 minutes left, how do we produce a woman down goal here and get it to a 1-goal game?
And this is what you practice. I mean, this is exactly those scenarios. And if you want an offense to be able to score when you're a woman down, I think UNC is very capable. You've got Sam Forrest, the great defender, now holding the ball. Somebody's got to get to her. Smart timeout.
And this is North Carolina's last timeout.
.40 seconds still remaining on the power play. North Carolina ball, like Charlotte mentioned. The Tar Heels now out of timeouts for the remainder of the game. Taking a look at the Capital One Cup standings, teams competing for a combined $500,000 in student athlete scholarships from Capital One. Stanford at 70 on the women's side. A championship for both Northwestern and North Carolina today would propel them up those Capital One Cup standings. Great look inside the North Carolina huddle. What can you do, Charlotte, woman down, to get a goal?
You want to look for an off-ball look. So player with the ball will have multiple members of the defense committed to them. So you've got to run an off-ball pick on the backside to try to generate an assisted look because your player down. That's where you are in the even set, on the backside. Overload the front side and look for an off-ball action.
And I think it's also key to note, even though you are a player down, you can try to draw a foul. So even if you go to the dodge, if you are smart and save their ball, I think there are a lot of the UNC offensive players are super talented in terms of protection. Draw a foul. Get yourself in the 8-meter. They're shooting close to 58% off the 8-meter.
And they've got one of the best off-ball players that we've ever seen in Chloe Humphrey. So keep your eyes on number 2 away from the ball.
And this is unfamiliar territory for Jenny Levy's team, North Carolina. They only trailed for 7% this season. They have trailed for more than 20 minutes today, and they're trailing by 2 with a national championship on the line. They are still woman down for 40 more seconds. Eliza Osborne, the ACC midfielder of the year, who has been missing in this fourth quarter, is back on the field, 15 in Tar Heel blue. And she'll start with the ball in her stick. I know North Carolina prides themselves on playing team offense, but if you're going to lose, you'd have to think you want to lose going down with Chloe Humphrey taking your shots. The nation's leading scorer, 109 goals this season, which ties the most all-time in a single season. Back behind the cage, off ball right now. Osborne feeds it inside. Godin sends it back out. Here's Chloe. 25 seconds on the shot clock.
North Carolina.
Great look, and Grilly couldn't finish it. Back to full strength. The power play has ended. 2 minutes remaining. North Carolina needs to find 2 goals. Northwestern clinging to the 2-goal advantage. 10 seconds to shoot. Reese King draws contact. No call. And Northwestern stands tall. Madison Taylor running away with it. And now it's a game of keep away.
There has not been a ground ball bigger in this game. What a defensive stand for Northwestern. They were patient, they were calm and composed.
Taylor goes to goal and scores! Madison Taylor! may have just sealed the national championship for Northwestern.
Maddie Taylor, she's been working the assist. This time she takes on 2 UNC defenders. Looks like a foot possibly touched the goal circle line.
Similar to the overtime goal that Taylor scored in Chapel Hill to beat North Carolina in the regular season.
And remember, North Carolina does not have a timeout left. They cannot call a challenge here to review.
You need a timeout to challenge. Great call, Charlotte. North Carolina is out of timeouts. So even though you can see that foot is clearly on the crease.
And I think the North Carolina coaching staff was thinking the officials were going to review it themselves.
Draw control win for Smith. But timeout taken. Scott Hiller, the assistant coach for Northwestern and the husband of Kelly Amante Hiller, got a timeout before Smith lost the ball to preserve possession.
You could see him waiting by the box, ready to call that timeout. What a heads-up play. But Madison Taylor has played in this game every year of her career. Delivers that ground ball, delivers the goal, handling the double team. And it's Madison Smith with the draw control.
What an awesome game so far. And even that Madison Taylor score, so that one of the new rules this year is with some of the official reviews, what they can review, and that is not one of them, to see if there is a crease violation.
And what a moment this is for this Northwestern program. Who could believe this? In the middle of the country, far from a hotbed for the sport of lacrosse, what Kelly Amante Hiller has built, seeking their 9th national championship. They're 1 minute and 14 seconds away from it. Amante Hiller, all she does is win. Leads all Division I coaches in tournament wins and soon to be national championship wins. She would pass her head coach, Cindy Timschel, for 9 national championships, the most of any head coach in the history of the sport.
Cindy Timschel, who is in the house today. What a moment that would be.
And there is less time on the game clock than the shot clock. So if Northwestern can keep this ball away from North Carolina, they will be national champions. The Tar Heels need a miracle, and they need the ball to even give themselves a chance at 3 goals in the final minute.
What a battle, punch for punch. Northwestern getting the separation.
As Scott Hiller says it best, the assistant head coach, the husband of Kelly Amante Hiller, coming to the Midwest and winning national championships in lacrosse is like building a champion ski team in Florida. And they're 30 seconds away from their 9th national championship. Osborne motoring through the midfield, lost the ball, a collision, no call, 20 seconds remaining. The crowd showed up. People thought North Carolina could not be taken down, but Northwestern left no doubt. Northwestern are national champions. The Wildcats outscore the Tar Heels 5-0 in the 4th quarter. They leave no doubt. They avenged the national championship loss a year ago to this North Carolina team. And the Sea of Purple can celebrate. Kelly Amante Hiller, a record 9 national championships, the most of any head coach in the history of the sport.
What a moment. What a year by North Carolina. What a year by Chloe Humphrey. Ties the single season goals record. But for Northwestern to do it on their home field in front of this crowd, for Kelly Amonte Hiller to break Cindy Timshall's record with her 9th national title, and for Madison Taylor, the senior, in her final game, 7 points, 4 draw controls, the biggest ground ball of her life on that restraining line.
This is a remarkable performance. You see this, Kelly Amonte Hiller, 9 titles. This dynasty started in 2005. Unbelievable, resurrecting this program. And you mentioned it, Madison Taylor with 1 goal, 6 assists. Distributing the ball, and an unlikely hero in Gabriella McAllister chipping in 4 goals. Total effort, 9 of the 14 goals for Northwestern assisted. The only team that's been able to take down this amazing UNC Tar Heel team was Northwestern, and they did it twice, and they did it last on the biggest stage.
Hard to believe North Carolina shut out in the 4th quarter. Northwestern, the national champions. And let's go down to Annabelle Hasselbeck, who's standing by with Madison Taylor.
Maddie, a lot of emotion, getting the game-sealing goal and winning the national championship for your last game ever on this field. Describe the emotion of this moment.
We just have so much love and belief for each other. My friend Lucy went down and we all kind of looked at each other and said, let's do it for her. And we did. And this is nothing better than this.
Your freshman, Gabriella McAllister, had the game of her life, the season high today. What did you see from your freshman?
She's been doing that all year long in practice every single day, and I knew she was going to get an opportunity one day, and she did, and there's no better time than doing it right now, so I'm so proud of her.
This is not normal to play in front of your home crowd. What was this atmosphere like?
Amazing. This is the best crowd in the world. Thank you for everyone who came out. Go Cats!
Congrats, Maddie.
Northwestern, the first program to win a national championship on their home field since 1986. The first time championship weekend has come to the Midwest ever on the men's or women's side, and Northwestern leaves no doubt in that 4th quarter. When's the last time the Tar Heels have been shut out in a quarter? It's hard to believe. Northwestern, incredible. Their 9th national championship, but this one has to feel the best for Kelly Amonte Hiller to do it at home in front of this incredible crowd. And let's hear from the Hall of Fame head coach, Kelly Amonte Hiller, who's with Annabelle.
Let's go, Chip! Coach, earlier this week, you told me in the beginning of the season, doubt set in that you might not even be at this weekend. Yeah. Well, you're here and you won the national championship. How does this feel?
Honestly, I had doubts that we weren't going to make the NCAA tournament in the beginning of the season, and this group is really, really special. Just to see what they did today. Lucy Monroe going down early. We put Gabby in and she scores 4 goals. Like, this team is so resilient and had so much belief. They never stop believing. Don't ever stop believing.
What is it about this team that allowed you to fight through so many close games this season?
They just loved each other. They loved each other so hard, and it was just a really fun thing. We knew win or lose today, we would have already won because of the experience we had together, and it was just a really special year.
So would you want championship weekend back here again sometime?
Oh boy, yeah. I think this was really, really special. In the beginning of the game, I just said to myself, when those rockets went off on the roof, I'm like, this is my dream right here, to bring this to Northwestern. All the people that have helped us get here, the alums, the administrators, and then all the work that went into this weekend. I'm really proud. I'm proud that the Midwest showed up, and it was a great game today.
Well, let's get you a new hat, Coach, and a t-shirt, and go celebrate with all those people.
All right, thanks so much, Annabelle. Go Cats! Hey, Lou!
I'll tell you what, it really is the most unlikely dynasty in perhaps all sports to do it just outside Chicago. And they're flying the W in Evanston. There's Mike Wilbon, our colleague at ESPN, helping Kelly and Monty Hiller celebrate a 9th national championship. If you build it, they will come. They came today, and they watched an incredible battle. The Big Ten champs take down the ACC champs. For our incredible crew, Charlotte, Annabelle, Sheehan, everybody behind the scenes, I'm Jay Alter saying so long.